And I must thank Srinivas Reddy, somebody who has come from Telangana himself. In fact, he hails from the same district that Ganapati, the leader of Maoist group in India, hails from. And he, in fact, also faced the barrel end of their rifle when he attended one of their Praja courts and he was hauled up there. So he knows what the feeling of the threat is when you stand against them. The fact remains that if you really look at it, I will be looking at it from a slightly different angle. Not the conventional thing that you expect from a police officer who had been in the thick of it for the last few years. If you take the map of India and plot the areas where all the tribal population is, and place on it another transparency where all the forest belts are, and a third transparency where all the hilly tracts are, you would get more or less the area that we are speaking of now where the Naxal influence is maximum. Either where they have been maximum in the past or where they would like to become stronger in the days to come, like in the tri-junction of Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. Why is it so? Why is it that it's coming like this? If you really look at it also, you'll also find that this is the place where the least development has happened, where the governance has not really reached them in the way it should, where in spite of so many years of independence, we have not given them the Medicare, the education, the drinking water facilities, and all other facilities which are essential for a very happy living. So probably at the root of all this is one of the things that we should address and look at it. And in fact, there's the last point that Srinivas Reddy was mentioning, that this is the time for us to address these and look at it. In fact, the movement has grown from central organizers in towns of 1+2 to a battalion strength, however small the battalion is. When we were reading their documents long back, when they were speaking of company formations, we used to smile and say, what company formation? Naxals? What strength do they have? 10, 12, 13 in a batch? How dare they think of company formation? Now from company formation, they have moved on to battalion formation, and they're functioning like that. They break up and reform. The mobile warfare concept which we speak of is actually to be seen today, perfectly being done by them. So what I now tell my boys is that whatever they have written, do not dismiss it as something not likely to happen at all, which means that they are going to continuously strive towards that goal and they are going to reach that goal. So let's be prepared for that. If today they are speaking of urban guerrilla warfare and going into the factories and other places, capture them, yes, they will be inexorably trying for that, working for that. So let's be conscious about it, because one of their greatest strengths is their flexibility, or what he said as the resilience. They have, when they found that their strength is not the strength is not there to face the security forces, they have reduced their numbers. When they thought that they could take us on, they have taken us on. In fact, they have moved right from spears in the 1960s when the Srikakulam uprising happened to till today. They are speaking of rocket propelled grenades, and very effective ones. So that is the type of strength that they have built in. But today their most potent weapon is not their rocket propelled grenades or weapons that they have seized from the police, but the mines, landmines, which they have used to tremendously effective use. In fact, the losses, if you look at of the security forces in the last 2-3 years, the maximum losses are in the landmine blasts. And these things are happening regularly. And now why is it so? because we have taken upon ourselves certain duties which are not conventionally considered as security forces duties. We are not going in for just the cordon and search operations and the raids and ambushes and what are the conventionally accepted military actions there. But we have taken up certain things like road formations. And the maximum casualty we have suffered, whether it is the loss of life or loss of limb for force members, has been in this road formation, particularly in Chhattisgarh. So that's where our major losses have been, and that's what we have been doing. So we have been, in fact, maybe the organization, if you really look at it again, going back and seeing it, how relevant is it today? Because without any relevance, it cannot also sustain for too long. How relevant is it today? Those of you who have seen the trilogy of Shyam Benegal, Ankur and other movies, you will say at one point of time, maybe they had certain relevance in Telangana, when certain sections of people were actually downtrodden and one small component of the entire place used to ride roughshod over them. But the same Naxals have in their own socio-economic survey, which was done in Telangana in the early 2000s, conceded, as he rightly mentioned, that no longer is Telangana the right place for this, because the Telangana has moved on. The groups have changed. Yeah, the groups have changed from to a much better lifestyles. People have moved for a much better lifestyle, and therefore they are not relevant. So that's the set of a situation there today. So it's for us now to make sure to face this. But one of the things that I think both the speakers have touched upon peripherally is their strength is not military strength today. That can be tackled any day by us. Their strength is their united front. Our perception management had been extremely poor. This is where we need to build up. This is where we need to take them on. This where we need to expose different organizations that are working for them. And unless we do that, we will not be able to tackle this problem in all its entirety. Thank you very much for this. And the time being short, I think I'll wind up at this place and say that we'll probably at some other time discuss more of these issues. Thank you.